Good morning, everyone.
We're back.
Hello.
Do we have an opening song today?
Um, Somebody told me that there would be brunch, gossip and writing. It's so delighting. Somebody told me. That's all I got.
Good.
Well done, ma'am. Well done.
Suzanne Balsar posted earlier today about the Spice Girls, and now I've been singing Spice Girls songs to myself, notably To Become One, which is super inappropriate when my kid is following me around the kitchen wanting to play, and that's the song like I'm singing.
Yeah. I like the Spice Up Your Life the most.
Yeah. I mean, if we were actually having cocktails together, we could do a little bit of a sing-along, but I don't know if we're there. Since for some of you, it's 9 o'clock in the morning.
Still drinking water.
Although it is Sunday, so we could move on to something more than water.
Yeah, I got Diet Coke.
Hot tea.
Hot tea.
Sorry, we're not that fun.
So,
I don't know about you all, I've got this bottle of wine.
Right.
so, what do we got to talk about this week?
You have a grape. You are angry with something.
Yeah.
What is it?
I shared it on Twitter earlier in the week. I was walking down the street wearing this wig, only I had it piled up much higher in like a thing. And I saw the branch as I was coming towards it, and I did one of these, and it wasn't enough because it was taller than I anticipated. And I caught this wig on a tree branch just as two elderly Swedish women were crossing my path, and it jerked me back. And I pretended that it was painful while I struggled to unhinge myself from this tree branch, and the Swedish ladies were like, I couldn't tell you what they said, but they looked very concerned and very upset. And I guess my beef is with trees in general. It's like, I get why they're there, but at the end of the day, if they're just going to cost regular schmegular people like me, at what cost do we have them? That's where I'm at right now.
Trees are just smug. Let's put it out there. Like,
some trees tall, but they're not quite tall enough because their branches still attack you. And every spring, they're like fucking outside, guys. And the pollen, it affects me.
They're out to get you.
They're just like rubbing it in your face about how much sex they're getting, and it's really obscene and gross and terrible. And every year I need Claritin like it's nobody's business, and it really just throws me off my game. So this week I say fuck trees. Haven't met a nice one yet.
I know where you need to move to. Iceland.
Oh, okay.
They have very few trees, and the trees that they do have are very short. In fact, when we were driving, our taxi driver said, do you know what you do when you get lost in the forest in Iceland? And we said, what? And he said, you stand up.
I love that.
So really would like for us to have a collage of Charish's beefs, like Hans Zimmer and a spider, and then just like trees in general.
Yes.
Now, the trees that are so few in Iceland, do they get a sense of like where they are, and do they know their place? Like,
oh, because they're all short, so they're being looked down upon all the time. They get
okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's my beef. Did anybody else have beef, or is it just me who got assaulted by Mother Nature?
I think it was was just you getting assaulted. But that's like an interesting segue to talk about trees, because I have a mini beef that one of my broken branches is shedding all its leaves, so it looks like fall came early to my backyard.
Oh,
But
man.
not like beautiful red leaves, just like dead brown ones that need to be raked up, which of course I have not done. But because now we're into fall.
Well, that's another thing trees do. They put so much work on you. They're growing in your yard and they're littering every goddamn day. I'm sorry. Go on. Go on. Fall.
I don't even know where to go with that. Hey, it's fall, and then we segued back to fuck trees.
Tell us wonderful things about fall that you love.
And then we go back and it's like trees and all their fucking shade. How dare they take away my sunlight?
Blocking my vitamin D.
Right. And what is all this oxygen you're pushing out into the place?
Lowering my cooling bills.
The oxygen agenda. I'm sorry, guys. Fall. Autumn. Autumn. What do we love about it?
Oxygen.
Changing
Well,
of
normally I
the-
love back to school. Less so this year for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But I did get a pumpkin spice latte the other day, and I didn't even feel guilty about it. It was the Frappuccino, so it wasn't as the latte is too sweet for me, but the Frappuccino, for whatever reason, isn't as feels more diluted. It was good. It'll probably be the only one I have for the season, but it was good.
Whatever. Treat yourself.
The salted caramel mocha frappuccino, that's pretty good. You could call it coffee. That's just like a salted caramel milkshake, and
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
That sounds good.
I got a maple something or other this morning, and I was like, ooh, that's new. They didn't have any pumpkin on their little menu. It's a little drive-through kiosk place, but I was like, hey, maple is sort of more winter than fall, but what the fuck ever. It's good. It's tasty. It tastes like a dessert. I'm a trader because one of my favorite things about fall are the trees changing color.
It's okay.
The
It's okay.
oranges and the reds and the purples that come in to just the plain old green leaves. I think it's so awesome.
Oh,
And
yeah.
fall
Like
is
your
good.
traditional New England fall kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I spent the majority of my childhood in Florida where you don't get any fucking ever changing of the seasons. It's hot, hot, hot. And so when we finally moved to a place where like you can see it happening, it was very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a tree, one of the trees in my front yard turns like bright red,
Ooh.
and I love it. It's one of our little ash trees. We have a bunch of ash trees, but that one, for whatever reason, always goes bright red versus like the oranges, and it's gorgeous for like 15 minutes out of the year.
Yeah. Because they don't last that long, do they? Like that brilliant red.
No, maybe like a month. You'll kind of have it on and off, but
Mm.
well, it's there. It's beautiful.
What's
I've
your
been
favorite
both to the
tree?
Northeast and the Northwest in the fall, and it's just so beautiful to see all of the colors changing and to be able to kind of drive through it. And, you know, like when I lived in New Orleans, when I lived in LA, I'm in the Bay Area, and we really don't get the colors changing in that way. So it's definitely one of my favorite things. Are all of you guys pumpkin spice people? Because I mean, I might have to excommunicate myself, seriously.
Not normally. I usually want like one a year. Like I want that sugar and the taste, but normally then I go back to
I'm more of
whatever
a
else
maple
that sounds.
person than pumpkin.
Maple.
Mm. Yeah, I don't have those drinks ever. I don't think I've ever had a pumpkin spice latte. I like pie, so
I
I'll
don't
get
like
down.
pumpkin pie.
I like sweet potato pie.
Sweet
I like
potato.
sweet potato pie better,
Yeah.
Yes.
but they don't usually make a sweet potato latte. Although
They should. We should petition it.
Put that out there.
Sweet potato latte.
That'd be good.
With the marshmallow.
That was me putting it into the universe.
Ooh,
with like a marshmallow
cream.
fluff.
Yes.
Awesome. Sweet
When I had my son, the s'mores frappuccino was big.
Yeah.
With Starbucks, and I hadn't had any because I didn't do coffee or caffeine or even like a lot of sugar when I was pregnant with my son. And so my husband was like, am I supposed to get you a present or something when you have the kid? And I was like, all I really want is a giant like s'mores frappuccino. I've been craving that for 9 months. Like, that's all I want. And whoever hands me one first gets to hold that baby first. So my sister-in-law brought me one from the ground floor of the hospital.
Here.
I was like, here you go.
Did it live up to the hype?
It did. It was good. It had marshmallow fluff in it.
I like those ones. I only got a couple of them because I had to like ration myself because it's just so much sugar. But
oh yeah, it's like 1 billion calories. But I was like, I just gave birth, whatever.
Right. It's good though.
When I had Nico, the only thing I was craving for was Boston Market. For some reason, I don't know why. I was like, I need some chicken and mashed potatoes, please, right now. And so Max or someone went out and got that for me for my first meal.
I love Boston Market. I miss it so much. I don't even know if it's that great, really. It's just rotisserie chicken and mashed potatoes, but I miss it so much.
Yeah, it was the best thing to have. I haven't had it in years and years and years. I haven't even seen one in forever.
There's one not too far from me, but I haven't been to one in probably a decade.
I think there's one near us, I think. Not sure though. That's how I feel about Carl's Jr. too though. Like I don't even know if it's that good, but it's what I had when I was a kid and I can't get it here. And so every time I go back to California, it's the first thing I want.
Right.
Yeah. There's one like 4 blocks from here. I still haven't gone, but I used to like it when I was in college.
I always try to think about what these folks thought of us. My brother and I, it was when my grandmother died and my parents had flown out separately. My brother and I flew out together to California and our flight got diverted. We had rental car issues. We had all these problems. And so when we got into Riverside from LAX, we didn't go straight to the hotel. We went straight to a Carl's Jr. And we commented something that we were just chit-chatting with the guy in the counter and we're like, yeah, we just flew in from Nebraska and this was our first stop. And they're like, why? We grew up here and I don't know why we like told him this whole life story. And they're like, we'll make you some fresh fries.
Oh, well, that's nice of it.
Like, what is wrong with you people?
Yes.
Back to fall, I will say my favorite thing about fall has always been Halloween and frightening movies. So like every year, Nella and I compile our horror film or scary film list and we watch for the entire month of October. And when we were in America, Halloween was definitely more of like a big to-do, obviously. Out here, not so much, like at all. And so I missed that, but we do have our horror films. Oh, last year I got the fucking fright of my life when in our apartment building, somebody rang the doorbell and I looked out the peep and I couldn't see anybody. But when I opened the door, and I think this was like literally the day after Halloween, I opened the door and it was this kid who looked to be about 14 wearing a paper bag over his head and said trick or treat. I was like, the fuck? And I slammed the door real quick. It was the most frightening thing ever because one, it's Sweden, nobody trick or treats. We're in an apartment building where nobody knows anybody because Swedish people don't get to know their neighbors. And it's the day after Halloween.
That's terrifying.
And he had a paper bag over his head and he stood there at the door for like a minute after I shut it on him. And then eventually I heard his like footsteps receding.
Were you home alone?
No, it was taking a nap. And then I told him, and he was like, "Oh, that's kind of rude. That was probably his first Halloween experience."
He was here to murder us.
Truly.
Right.
But other than that, I love Halloween.
That's the beginning of a horror movie. That sounds like something that you'd see in the opening credits. That's scary. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt like the purge came to your door.
Or like you give them the candy and then he'd say thanks and walk away and you'd be like, oh, I guess I should trust people. And then he'd come back
And murder me.
and then murder you.
Right. We told the Swedish colleagues at school, and they were like, "Oh no, that's strange. Nobody does that." So yeah.
Mm-mm.
I like scarves and boots and like that moment when you can feel
Sweaters.
the weather just change and you have that crisp air, and then it's time for all the like lattes and hot chocolate and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Lighting a fireplace, though I don't have one.
Candles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same. I actually have a Fireplace app on my TV, so sometimes
Yes.
I put that on and it crackles, and so then I feel a little cozier. But that's kind of also ridiculous in some ways.
No.
We have a fireplace that's beautiful, but it heats up the house like so much that we almost never make fire in there.
Does it get super cold where you live, Denise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the winter, like with
Midwestern.
what was the Arctic,
Polar vortex.
the polar vortex, I think we got down to like 50 below.
Mm.
But it's not like out of the realm for it to be definitely below zero for large chunks of the winter.
I would have that fireplace going all day long, all night long.
Yeah.
The heater's on, but yeah, we don't use the fireplace all that often. I actually would much rather be cold than hot. So like, I like that shift into fall when I can wear this sweater and be very comfortable all day.
Yeah. No, sweater weather, cowl neck, and blankets and ponchos. I love a good poncho, or a knit cape,
Ooh.
and boots and hats.
I love boots so much.
So much.
So much.
Why are you giving me shit about a knit cape?
No, I like it.
No. But when you said poncho, I really thought of like a rain poncho. I was just imagining you just like hanging out in your house, like a rain poncho, like under a blanket.
Like a poncho over at like if you go visit Niagara Falls, like on the.
A knit poncho.
With the coffee with the fire over here, just in the rain poncho.
Oh my god! Great.
You know that's going to be your next Photoshop now.
Right. Right. You guys, you should do one of you guys like on a boat, like with the ponchos at Niagara Falls. That
Maybe.
Yeah. No, yes. A knitted poncho or a knitted cape.
Yes.
Smart Alex.
I'm with you. I wasn't making fun of you. It's just what popped into my head.
Before
right.
we end up closing, because we only have a couple of minutes.
Oh.
I just have to say, Cass, that you look amazing.
I know.
Your hair, this makeup, you are giving me life, sis.
The golden eyeshadow.
Yes.
I actually put stuff on just for you ladies today.
Thank you.
I'm probably
feel
going to
honored.
wipe it all off as soon as we're done recording. I'm going to be like, and
Oh, get your flu shot looking cute.
Yeah.
Yes.
two minutes. That was just my warning. To go.
Okay, with
Everyone
we
get
need-
your flu shot. If you can, if you're able, get your flu shot. If you can't, that's understandable.
Yeah.
we'll try.
This is probably going to be a rough flu season given everything else going on.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Or I'm really interested actually, because with a lot of kids staying home virtually, like I'm wondering if that'll like lessen the spread of like, because kids are cooties. Do, do, do. So I'm wondering if that'll have like a positive effect on the flu.
I feel like there's still so many people gathering.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
like out
On
here.
my brief experience being back on a college campus, I would say that there's still some issues to be had.
It's hard to say.
You never know.
Yeah, this is true. Well, really, really quick, like a 2-minute grizzled story for us. Could it be arborist, some kind of tree doctor, grizzled arborist?
Yes.
And
Like an environmentalist, maybe?
I got you. Joe Pine Tree did it all. The forestry major, the top arbor honors, a fellowship at the National Tree Foundation, honored with all the awards, was doing all the things, doing so much work in the cultivation, the hybridization, and the promotion of trees around the world. Joe Pine Tree had it all. And then it came crashing to a halt when a sex tape was released.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you didn't see it coming.
I didn't.
Plot twist. Wherein it appeared, and it was doctored, but it was very viral that he was doing inappropriate things with trees. So this ruins his career, leaves him in the public eye just shamed, and he doesn't know who did it or why they did it, or who is out to get him. So years later, he lives in the land of fake trees. He's lost his love for the trees. People don't trust him to be around trees. And so he finds himself selling artificial Christmas trees. It's a holiday small town romance. You didn't think we were going Hallmark, but we are. So Joe Pine Tree is selling these artificial trees for Christmas, and meets a baker. And the baker is annoyed at his sort of grizzled nature. The baker insists on having real trees to decorate their shop, and Joe Pine Tree just fights against this. So it really is enemies to lovers, and along the line of their relationship, he learns the sweet side of trees again. And it ends with them making tree cookies. And him making them accurate. And then in the end, it comes out who tried to destroy him, and that person is credited. And the National Tree Foundation comes begging for forgiveness.
Yeah.
The end.
Redemption!
Redemption.
Well done. Well done. Well, right before we close, ladies, everybody pose for your picture. 1, 2. Done.
Well, everyone, I hope you have a fantastic week. It's the end of summer, so get ready for better trees, happier, nicer trees, maybe.
And ponchos.
And ponchos.
Indeed.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.